The silence that followed my announcement at Thanksgiving dinner was deafening. I had just informed the family that instead of paying for my granddaughter Emma's college tuition, all $180,000 of it, I was donating the money to the Children's Cancer Research Foundation. Emma's face had gone white as paper, her parents looked stricken, and the rest of the family sat frozen with forks halfway to their mouths. "You can't be serious, Mom," my son David finally managed, his voice cracking like it did when he was 12 and had broken something valuable. I folded my napkin carefully and placed it beside my plate. I've never been more serious about anything in my life. Within 2 weeks, the consequences began cascading through their lives like dominoes falling in perfect, devastating sequence. Emma had to withdraw from Northwestern University mid-semester, the prestigious private school she'd bragged about. To her friends, the same friends she'd been embarrassed to introduce me to, suddenly became financially impossible. Her scholarship covered only 30%, and without my promised contribution, the family couldn't cover the remaining $25,000 per semester. "Grandma, please," Emma sobbed over the phone, her voice thick with tears I hadn't heard since she was 8 years old. "I'll lose my place in the pre-med program. I'll have to start over somewhere else. Somewhere lesser." "Lesser," I repeated quietly. "You mean like the community college your grandfather attended before working his way through state school? The education that allowed him to build the business that created the wealth you so freely spend?" She had no answer for that. David and his wife Jennifer faced their own reckoning. They'd leveraged their house against Emma's education, confident in my financial backing. When I withdrew my support, they couldn't make the balloon payment due in December. The foreclosure notice arrived 3 days before Christmas. Fitting timing, I thought, for people who had forgotten the true meaning of giving and gratitude. "We're going to lose everything," Jennifer wept during their desperate visit to my home. Her designer handbag, the one that cost more than most people's monthly rent, sat forgotten on my coffee table as she wrung her hands. The house, our reputation in the neighborhood, Emma's future. "You're not losing everything," I corrected her gently. "You're losing the extras, the luxuries, the things that apparently mattered more than treating family with basic respect." Word spread quickly through their social circle. Emma's withdrawal from Northwestern became gossip fodder at the country club where Jennifer played tennis twice a week. Their friends, the ones who had smiled politely while excluding me from gatherings, suddenly found reasons to avoid them. "They're saying we mismanaged our finances," David said bitterly during one of his increasingly frequent visits. "That we're irresponsible parents who couldn't secure our daughter's future." "And what do you think they said about me?" I asked. "When you allowed Emma to introduce me as just my dad's mother at her graduation party, what did they think when you seated me at the children's table at your anniversary dinner because the adult table was for your sophisticated friends?" He looked away, unable to meet my eyes. The foreclosure proceedings became public record. Their neighbors, the ones who used to compliment Jennifer on her perfectly manicured lawn and David on his luxury car, now whispered behind their backs. The family that had once been pillars of their community found themselves social pariahs, attending fewer and fewer gatherings until the invitations stopped coming altogether. As their situation grew more dire, the family's attempts at reconciliation became increasingly frantic. Emma arrived at my door on a rainy Tuesday evening, mascara streaking down her cheeks. "Grandma, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I was stupid and shallow and I hurt you. Please, I'll do anything to make it right." "Anything?" I asked, ushering her into the warmth. "Would you be willing to introduce me to your friends? To acknowledge that your grandmother helped raise you when your parents were building their careers? To sit with me at family gatherings, instead of pretending I'm invisible?" Yes, absolutely. I was wrong, Grandma. I was so wrong." I poured her tea and sat beside her on the couch where I'd read her bedtime stories years ago. "Emma, do you know why I'm doing this?" She shook, her head, tears still flowing. Because love without respect isn't love at all. It's convenience, and I refuse to be anyone's convenient checkbook. David and Jennifer's pleas were less tearful, but equally desperate. They offered compromises, family therapy, written apologies, promises to include me more. But their words felt hollow, motivated by financial desperation rather than genuine remorse. "You raised me better than this," David said during one visit, and for a moment, I saw the boy who used to climb into my lap with scraped knees and hurt feelings. "I thought I did," I replied. "But somewhere along the way, you learned that my feelings mattered less than your image, that my dignity was negotiable if it meant keeping up appearances." The charity confirmed receipt of my donation, with a beautiful letter detailing how the money would fund research into pediatric leukemia treatments. Children fighting for their lives would benefit from the money that was supposed to secure Emma's comfort. When David accused me of being vindictive, I showed him the letter. "This isn't about punishment," I explained calmly. "This is about priorities. You taught your daughter that appearances matter more than people. That status matters more than character. I'm teaching a different lesson." "But Emma's future?" "Emma's future isn't ruined because she has to attend a state school," I interrupted. "Your grandfather built our family's wealth with a high school education and determination. Emma has advantages he never dreamed of. She'll be fine if she learns the value of hard work and humility." 6 months later, Emma enrolled at the state university 20 minutes from their rented apartment. She qualified for financial aid, took out reasonable student loans, and found a part-time job tutoring younger students. For the first time in years, she had to budget, to choose between wants and needs, to appreciate rather than expect. The family lost the house, but found a modest rental in a middle-class neighborhood. David's business, freed from the pressure of maintaining an expensive lifestyle, actually began to thrive as he focused on work rather than appearances. And slowly, gradually, they began to remember what I'd been trying to teach them all along. That family isn't about what you can provide, but about how you treat each other. That respect isn't earned through bank accounts, but through love, consideration, and basic human dignity. They had a long way to go. Trust, once broken, takes time to rebuild. But for the first time in years, when Emma called me, she didn't want money. She wanted to share her good grade on a difficult exam, to tell me about a new friend, to ask about my day. It was a start. And sometimes, that's all you need.